What's inside Minecraft Steve? Today we're gonna take a look at his muscles, his brains, and even his emotions. But first of all, he's supposed to fit an entire inventory in him, but realistically, even trying to fit just 10 pickaxes into an empty Steve is kind of hard. There's not enough room in Steve for a single block, and so trying to put 10 blocks in him would look like this. We can make this a little more proportional if we put blocks in his arms and legs too, so that Steve can at least jump and run around. But Steve can carry 2,000 blocks, which would look like this. Luckily, Minecraft has chests, and you only need 2 chests to carry all of Steve's stuff. So we could put 2 chests into Steve's body to solve the problem and give him a big chest. Or if we wanted him to be more lean, we could remove his head and put the second chest there. We're not even done though, because we know he also has 10 hearts. I managed to squeeze each one of them in there right above his chest. And just like in the game, they pop when he takes damage, but you can grow them back by eating. There's also 10 chicken drumsticks that make up his stomach, but we're like completely out of space here, so I had them rotate around his body chest, and now we finally have a realistic Steve body. This is great for realism, but it still doesn't make sense how a chest, which is only 1 block big, can store thousands of blocks. So to explain it, I added the chest dimension to Minecraft. You can jump into any open chest to enter the chest dimension, which starts off empty except for these inventory trees and inventory mobs. As you place blocks in the chest dimension, they'll start to show up in the actual chest, and if you spawn a living chicken in the chest dimension, it'll be clogging the portal when you open the chest, so you'll have to remove it manually. If you build another portal in the chest dimension, that's a whole entire dimension inside your single chest, so that chest will fill up really quickly, and it won't be able to store all the nether mobs either. If you mine the inventory walls in the chest dimension, it'll mess up the way the chest UI looks. But more importantly, it'll make a gap in the chest wall and leave you exposed to the chest void, which means nearby chest entities can find their way in and steal the blocks in your chest for themselves. Once your chest is empty, they'll start removing items from your inventory, and then they'll start removing the pixels from you. There's a small % chance your chest dimension will end up looking like the box dimension from Club Penguin, and you'll end up looking like a chest. Now I've explained how Steve can store so much stuff in his inventory, but we still don't know how he can move around without any visible muscle. So I removed the skins from Minecraft, and now you can see all the underlying muscle fibers for all the mobs in your world. I did put a little TNT in the creepers though, and I gave the cows a big milk tank. Since it's now exposed, you can actually mine the milk tank for infinite milk to drink, or craft it into a milk tank that shoots milk. But it turns out having your muscles completely exposed to open air means you're constantly in pain, and little bits of dirt and sand are gonna get stuck between your muscle fibers, so you're gonna need to combine leather clothes like this to make some artificial skin, and craft a bunch of leather helmets together to make an artificial head. If you care about the mobs suffering in your world, you can give them some skin too, or you could wear it for yourself. You can also use different colored leather to get stuff like green or pink skinned creepers, but there's no racism when none of us have skins, and I think that's beautiful. If you are missing skins, don't worry, because I did add skin blocks to this mod though. If you normally look like this, and one day you woke up with all of your skin gone, you would probably feel some fear and some joy. So to make Minecraft Steve more relatable, I added Inside Out to Minecraft. They can't all fit inside of Steve's head, so I made them spawn when you feel an emotion. When you take damage, it'll summon an anger. When you find diamonds, it'll summon a joy. And when it rains, it'll rain sadness. Sadness sucks though, so I made her take damage. Other mobs have emotions too, like how this sheep can feel fear. And you can actually eat these emotions to feel them in-game. When you're scared, you'll hallucinate ghosts that follow you around. When you're angry, you can punch holes in walls. And when you're sad, you'll get depressed, which is good for getting water in the nether. But I'm just going to keep eating angers until I'm super angry and my fists are super big. And now I can punch holes through everything, including these pigs and the emotions you don't want to feel. Now that we have emotions and muscles, we just need a brain to pilot our Steve, and I decided to use my own. I connected some cables through my ears to my brain, and then plugged those cables into my computer. From there, I just let my brain slowly transfer from my skull into Minecraft Steve's head. And now, if I focus, I can unravel some of my brain and start moving around like this. I'm going to beat Minecraft like this by slithering around until I can find an Enderman, and then I'm going to give it some of my brain. Now that we share the same mind, I'm just going to teleport us randomly until I find a stronghold with a full ender portal. But in the end, there's a slight problem. You spawn in this endstone room, and brains are too soft and mushy to mine blocks. Luckily, I can still use my brain to pick up blocks and move them out of my way. Now, all I have to do is get this ender dragon, which I can do by morphing my brain into an ender dragon of my own, and beating the ender dragon in this pretty epic fight. If you liked getting turned inside out, or inside out, or a Minecraft Steve that conforms to realistic body expectations, please like the video. Speaking of realistic body expectations, I'm adding getting boiled alive to Minecraft next time, so subscribe to not miss it, and I'll see you soon.